Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. You may be wondering, what on earth am I looking at? Well, today I thought I would do a tutorial on how to add texture to your Copic coloring. I recently did a tutorial of this, but I just used pictures, and I feel this is one of those techniques that's just better if you can see it happen. So I just thought, why not? Let's have some fun and do it again. Plus, it's a very addicting technique. Like, once I started doing it, I seem to be wanting to do it all the time. So I'm not sure if this works on other brand of alcohol markers, since I only have Copics, that's all I've used. And I used the Colorless blender for it. In a pinch, I have tried just using alcohol. You get some results, but not the same, like rubbing alcohol, not the alcohol you drink. Don't want to waste that. So I'm not sure if it works on the other ones or not. If you've tried it with other markers, why don't you let me know below. And then you just need like some fabric. I use this denim piece for when I do jeans. And these are stained because I've done this technique a lot. An old dish rag, it has this side, and then it has this side, and then just an old towel. And we will get to that, what you actually do, in a moment. Before I begin, I thought I would show you the stamps that I used for this tutorial. I did use a lot. Again, very addicting, very fun. So one of the first ones I used is by TLC Designs, and this is Dreamer, cute little dragon. Again, another one from TLC Designs. This is Sweetie. Another one from TLC Designs. This is Troll Cricket Fun. I'm going to be using this frog here. And then all the rest are from Kraftin Kimmie stamps. This is My Happy Place. I'm going to be using this girl right here to show you how to do those jeans. You're a Squeak-heart. I'm going to use this one down here with this little coffee cup, or I guess it could be a cup of hot chocolate or whatever. Manatee Pals. I'm going to use this little manatee up here, add some fun texture to him. Fancy Florals. I'm going to be using this big one here so we can add some texture to that pot. Dragonflight. I think I colored up this one that we're going to add some texture to. Turtley Awesome. I believe it was this guy down here that I colored up for this tutorial. Leapin lizards. I just had to do it. I just love these guys. I colored up this little guy here. Again, I love the stamp set. Trendy tees. I colored up this girl down here. We're going to add some texture to her shirt. And then Polar Pals. I colored up this bear. I think he's meant to be a polar bear, but I colored him brown so you'd be able to see it. Figured, why not? There's brown bears too. And then Lookin Sharp. I colored up the Succulent just so you could see. It doesn't have to be, when I first started using this technique, I thought it had to be like a animal or whatever to get the texture, but you can do it on anything. Just to give you an idea, I've taken lots of classes through the years on Copic coloring, and this is a technique that they always talk about, so it's nothing I came up with on my own. Just thought I would share in case someone hasn't taken a class or has never seen it before or maybe forgotten about it. So again, this is one that I colored just quick, and you can see that denim makes it looks like jeans. Just using the blender pen, you can do like designs. That dish rag on that one side makes those fun little shapes. You can use the marker through a stencil and you get the effect. Just using a washcloth, the hand towel, again a stencil, and then I just made like some polka dots with the marker. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do. We're pretty much limited by what kind of cloth you can get or find, and your imagination. So let's get on to what we're going to do. I've already pre-colored all the images for ease, just the parts that we're going to use. To start off with, we're just going to use the Colorless blender marker. This is the TLC Designs Dreamer, and I thought it would be fun to add some pattern to his little hammock. So you just take your Colorless blender marker and then you just draw on it, and it takes it a minute for it to dry and remove the color, and you can also get different effects by how hard you press or how long you leave it on. So I thought it'd be fun to maybe just do some lines. So I'm just going to go slow with some like kind of even pressure on it. Sometimes as you're doing this, the Copic colors kind of bleed a little bit. So that's why I always just color this part first and then I go back and color the rest. Sometimes I leave a little bit of edge around it so that it can bleed into that. You can see that it's starting to appear. Basically, it's just removing that color, but it makes a nice pattern appear. Again, it's like magic. Oops, I went the wrong way on that one, but that's okay. So you can see, and then I wanted to go back through and just kind of do the opposite direction so I can cover up my mistake that I made there. And if you don't get the effect that you want right away, you can always go back over. But you can see it made a very, very subtle little pattern there. So now instead of just having a straight orange, he's got a little bit of texture to his hammock. On this cup, I thought it would be fun to have some polka dots. Polka dots are one of my favorite things to do because it's easy and you can just vary the size and how much like it shows through by how long you leave it on. That we do some pretty big ones, so I'm just gonna kind of press down and do some like small little circles, and you'll see that starting to appear as it dries. So there's some dots coming so that this cup will have a little bit of texture. You can do some varying sizes. Again, the longer you leave it on, the more color it's going to remove so that it'll show up a little bit more. And I just love watching it come to life, kind of, I guess. Or as it like starts to appear as it dries. Again, if it's not quite what you expected, you can go back over it so you can remove some more of the color. So there's that little cup. And this is, I don't know if I said it's my Kraftin Kimmie Squeak-heart. You're a Squeak-heart. So there, that cup has some dots added to it. Next up, I thought we'd do the Trendy tees from Kraftin Kimmie. I colored her a purple shirt, and I thought I would, let's see, maybe do, we did stripes and we did dots, so maybe I'll just do like some squiggles, like a squiggly design, nice and slow. And I might have to go over it a couple times, that purple. And you can see it's starting to come as it dries. So there, now she has some squiggle lines on her shirt. For the Succulent, sometimes it's nice to just add texture just by doing like quick little dots like over the area. And it'll kind of add just a little touch of texture to it, not a lot, but enough to just kind of add that wow factor, make it look a little bit more, I guess, dimensional maybe is the word, I'm not sure. And again, if you, after a few seconds, if you don't like how it's looking, if it's not showing, like not removing enough color, you can go back over it. Again, this one, I didn't want like a ton, but I just wanted it to kind of, I don't know, like model it. Mottle, M-O-T-T-L-E, is that a word? I don't know, I think so. But there you can see as it's drying, it's just kind of adding a little bit of texture to it. So those are all with the marker. Again, I could go on for days, but we don't have that much time. Moving on to the next one, thought we would do the jeans, which is one of my favorites. So I colored up that My Happy Place from Kraftin Kimmie. And I have my little piece of denim here. And then I have my Copic Colorless blender refill. And for this one, I usually get it, I mean, you don't have to use a ton, but you want it to be wet. It does dry quickly, so you want to work quickly. So then you got that wet, and then I just kind of always kind of make a little, I don't know, like a circle, and then just press down and hold. And then press down and hold, and then press down and hold. Obviously, the longer you hold, or the wetter it is the more texture you're going to get out of it. This technique especially is where the colors bleed, so usually I plan on cutting the image out, or I leave like a little white border around so that it doesn't bleed into the other areas. But there you can see, hopefully it focused, that it just added a nice denim texture to it. Next, let's do this little frog from the Troll Cricket Fun. Thought he'd be neat with this towel. It's got this like little texture here. Again, just gonna add some of that colorless blender on there. And then press and hold, and then press and hold, and then press and hold, and then press and hold some more. You can do it until you get the desired effect. You can see right there it is bleeding a little bit, but I am planning on cutting him out. But you can see he's got a fun texture to him starting. Next we're gonna do, oh, spilled, maybe, hopefully we're not gonna spill, the Fancy Florals. Wanted to show, so my coloring on this isn't like the most even. This is a great technique for these larger areas where you may not be able to get it so even, because the texture is going to take away any like blemishes. And you can see I kind of left a little bit of white around there just in case it bleeds. Again, I'm going to take my towel. I'm going to just kind of make like a little ball, I guess. I'm going to add that colorless blender and then press and hold. And press and hold. And you can do whatever kind of design you want, I guess. Like I said, leave it on a short time. It's not going to do as much. Leave it on longer. It'll remove more. If your towel is wetter, it'll remove more. But it is a really good technique if your coloring is not as smooth as you want it, I guess. And I just added a little bit more because it does dry quickly on the towel. But there, that pot has a nice texture now, and you can't even tell that I colored it so uneven. Next, we'll move on to this little Manatee from Manatee Pals. I'm also using the towel with him. Just adding that colorless blender. And press and hold and remove, press and hold and remove, press and hold and remove, press and hold and remove. I purposely am trying to avoid his little nose snout area because I kind of wanted that to be different. When I go to actually use these images, I will probably go back and color just a little bit with Copics, and then sometimes I add some details with my Prismacolor pencils. But there, you can see the fun texture that this added. And then one more with the towel. And I guess this is something I should point out, I always have a piece of paper or a couple pieces of paper underneath because this technique will make it bleed through. Here's the Kraftin Kimmie Polar Pals, that brown bear. We're gonna use the towel again on him. We're going to take the towel, the Colorless blender. I guess before I start, I really was uneven on his coloring. I did that on purpose. And then press and hold, press and hold. And again, different fabric's gonna give you different effects. Just make sure it's something that you don't want to use again because it does stain it. Looks like that kind of dried out a little bit. And I'm definitely doing this first because I wouldn't want the little penguin's foot to get different, or like have the texture. So do this, let it dry, and then you can color it, and it's not a big deal at all. It'll color just like normal after that, after it dries. All right, so there he has some nice texture to him. And again, you can't tell that I colored it so uneven. These are such fun. All right, the last 4, didn't I say it was addicting, images? I wanted to use this dish rag, and I have to say this dish rag is probably my favorite. Has 2 sides, this side and then this side, that provide 2 totally different effects. I love this side for like dragons or like that scaly look, I guess you'd say, lizards or whatever. Again, just kind of ball it up. Add the Colorless blender. We're going to add it to the TLC Design Sweetie. Red really will bleed a lot, so I always try to leave a lot. And I also, he'll probably have to be colored back in those areas with kind of a red or a darker color, because red bleeds a lot. You just press and hold, press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. And I love the reveal, kind of like a stencil, when you pull it back and you see what it looks like. It's just so fun. I think it's drying out a little bit, so add just a little bit more. And press and hold, and you can see that design starting to come up. So there's how he looks. This little turtle guy over here, I thought I would use the other side of the dish rag. This is from the Kraftin Kimmie Turtley Awesome. Press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. There's that little guy. It's just, like I said, it's just addicting. And then the last 2 images I have, that Kraftin Kimmie Dragonflight. I'm going to use this side again, get that scaly look. Just press and hold. Again, his coloring wasn't the most even. I did a lot of these on purpose just so you could see that this is an easy technique when you don't want to spend forever trying to even it out and you just want to add some texture. I am going to do his wings because I'm probably going to go back and color those over and also add some sparkle to them. There's how he's looking as he's drying. And then the little lizard from Leapin Lizards. I think I'm going to use this side again. And just press and hold. Again, the longer you leave it on and the wetter that your towel or fabric is, the more you're going to get a texture. It's going to remove more of that color. And so there's that little guy. All right, I'll go through and show you all of them again. Now that they're all dry, let me get my notes so that I can see what I did with everybody. So there's using the marker, and we just made some stripes. Using the marker, we just did some dots. Using the marker, we did those wiggly wavy lines. Using the marker, we just kind of added that subtle texture on that one. All right. And then using that denim, we did the jeans. Using the towel, we did the little frog. Using the towel, and we got the texture on that pot. Using the towel, got the texture on that manatee. And then there's our bear, again, the towel. And then our little dragon with the washcloth with the, I guess, rougher side. The turtle with the other side of the dishcloth. And then both of these had that like rougher side, that dragon. And then the lizard. So there's a super easy, fun technique for your Copic coloring to add some texture to it. If you have any questions below, leave them below. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like what you see, I hope you will subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Do something for yourself. Go get crafty. Try this out. If you do, leave me a link so I can see what you did with it. Or maybe go to some crafty shopping. I did include all the links to all of the stamps that I used today. And have a fabulous day. Until my next video. Bye.